Nightmare rank is one of the hardest ranks to get in Roblox Bedwars. So today I'm going to be going through 10 of the best tips to help you get Nightmare rank in Roblox Bedwars. For the first tip, it is really important that you guys practice playing Roblox Bedwars. With any team-based competitive game, you always want to practice and get better at defeating your enemies. Even hopping into some custom matches with some mates can be considered practice. And if you want to try your bone aim, you can either go into an aim trainer or do some customs and just mess around with the bows and crossbows to help improve your aim. Personally, I play a lot of custom 1v1 matches with my friends and other really good players, as I find it helps me improve my PvP quite a lot. So I would definitely give this a go if you're struggling with the PvP aspect of Roblox Bedwars. For the next tip, you definitely want to master your game sense. Always try and pay attention to your surroundings and learn to anticipate and predict your opponent's moves. Also, try and memorize the different maps and routes that you can take to reach an enemy's base. Normally, what I do is I memorize the amount of blocks that it takes to reach the diamond generators and the middle, because it helps me get a good idea on how much iron I need to spend before rushing. And this is really important because with the new 5v5 ranked update, it also makes it a lot easier for you guys to memorize maps. So definitely hop into some customs and memorize the amount of iron that you need before rushing. And for this next tip, it is important to work together with your teammates and understand their strengths and weaknesses. Of course, guys, make sure that you're playing with a team and that you assign roles to your teammates. For example, you can assign 2 people to rush diamonds and 2 people to stay and defend the bed, which is what I usually do. And in Bedwars, it's very important to always communicate with your teammates. Make sure that you guys are communicating effectively with your mates and also listening to them as well. And also make sure while you're playing ranked, guys, to share your loot. Because if one of your teammates are about to rush someone's bed, you could probably spare them a few extra resources to ensure that they successfully get your opponent's bed. For this next tip with the Nightmare rank is to build efficiently and quickly. Of course, it's very important to have a strategic bed defense or just to tower up correctly. I see a lot of people messing up their towers and they just fumble so hard. Having an effective bed defense like the one that I showed in my How to Win Every Bedwars game video is a perfect example of what a good bed defense can look like and how it could play in game. Also, having an effective bed defense that your teammates can easily access and defend quickly is also crucial. So maybe think twice before building that massive castle bed defense, because it probably isn't the best idea if you want to keep defending your bed. Consider using some other materials like wood and stone. Wool sometimes isn't the best option because it can easily be broken. So having a basic bed defense with just some wood and stone can easily stop your enemies from taking your bed quickly. Also, randomizing between the wood and the stone can make it a lot harder for your enemies to break your bed defense because they need to switch between their tools to actually break your defense. By building a effective base, you can increase your chances of winning and staying in the game, which is why having an effective bed defense is very important. And of course, guys, winning in Roblox Bedwars requires a lot more than just a good kit and a good team. It's very important to develop your PvP skills while playing ranked. So, as I mentioned earlier, make sure you practice your aim, make sure you learn the sword mechanics and the bow mechanics, because it can increase your chances of winning fights. You can use PvP kits like the Ares kit, the Lumen kit, and the Ember kit to also increase your chances of winning fights. You can also combine multiple weapons and multiple different gadgets to make you really strong and overpowered, and also throw in an enchant in there. Make sure you've got a bunch of different unpredictable combos to outplay your enemies. This is another really small tip, but I thought I would mention it anyway because I think it's very important. Make sure you guys keep an eye on the clock in the top right hand corner of your screen. If you guys didn't already know, at the 20-minute mark of every single Bedwars game, all the teams lose their bed. And with the new ranked update, you can press tab and you can see where all the new titans spawn, which is always something to keep a keen eye out for, because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity to get some really good loot. And for this next tip, guys, I'm going to recommend you guys watch other pro players. Watching replays and highlights of high-level gameplay can really advance your skills. Look at how the pros play the game and see how you can learn from using their strategies and tactics, and try and incorporate what they do into your own gameplay. That way, you'll always become a better player and you can easily take down your enemies. For this next trick, I'm going to mention bed defenses again, because I'm going to double down on this because it is a very important and crucial tip. While playing ranked, make sure you have a dedicated base builder. Make sure you have a dedicated person that is protecting the bed, because your bed is the most important thing in the game. If you get your bed destroyed, it'll increase your chances of getting knocked out the game, so your bed must always be protected. Make sure you always have a builder on your team because it makes everything blast proof. You can even double down and get like more than one builder on your team, but I don't think that's necessary. If you have a builder on your team, make sure that they're building a good bed defense right from the get-go, because you don't want your enemies sneaking up behind you and snagging your bed. That just wouldn't be very cool. For this next tip, guys, make sure you pay close attention to this one, because even the best players in Roblox Bedwars make this one critical mistake. One of the most important things to keep in mind while playing ranked in Roblox Bedwars is the balance between being aggressive and cautious. I know you guys always want to win fights in Roblox Bedwars and taking fights to your enemies. However, you should also be pretty careful and not to be too aggressive, or you may find yourself losing the game and even giving resources to the enemies, which is just not ideal at all. And just to give an example of how crucial this can be, here's an in-game example of a clip that I got literally yesterday. My enemies were constantly rushing our team, always trying to go for our bed, always trying to break our bed, and failing every single time. Their overly aggressive playstyle led to poor decision making on their behalf and just a lot of unnecessary deaths, and it just gave our team the upper hand. Although the opposition had somewhat of a strategy, when you just charge into the action without your team or like a really good stable plan, you'll find out that you just get wiped out quickly with ease, when you could be spending that time gathering up resources or farming, or just like getting really stacked or something like that. Just don't feed kills to your enemy. And of course, always beware of your surroundings and look for opportunities to flank your enemies and take them by surprise. And for this final trick, learn from your mistakes. This is an essential aspect of not only personal growth in real life or not, but also in Bedwars. When you make mistakes in Roblox Bedwars, it can be really frustrating, but it's always important to step back and reflect on what went wrong. Analyzing your gameplay can help you identify areas to improve you later down the line, and it can ultimately lead to way better games in the future. And obviously, if you sit down and analyze your games, you'll find the mistakes you made and how you can improve on them during the next match. And of course, analyzing your gameplay, it can allow you to see from a whole different perspective, enabling you to learn from your mistakes and change them for future matches.